That been that boy.
Creating builds is expensive, and optimizing builds to their fullest can be time-consuming and challenging. So I'm here to give you 10 mistakes to avoid when creating your build on 2K26. Drop a like on the video for me, and let's get right into it. The first one regards the new Badge Max +1 and +2 system. So understanding this is very important. I'm going to explain a few reasons why. You're going to get a Badge Max +1 in the Tier 1 and Tier 2 slot. You're also going to get a Badge Max +2 in the Tier 1, Tier 2 slot. And then you're going to get an extra Badge Max +1 and Badge Max +2 through the build specialization. Utilizing these Badge Maxes is going to be very important in terms of maximizing your build's potential. There's some mistakes you could make. For example, if you're a build with a 99 rebound and you pick the rebounding build specialization, those extra +1 and +2 Badge Max slots can only be applied to rebounding. But since you already have a 99 rebound, your rebounding badges are on Legend. You're not going to be able to put those Badge Max +1 and 2s on anything. So it's very important you pick a build specialization that's going to allow you to not only use those specialized hat breakers, but those specialized Badge Max +1 and 2 slots. It's also very important that you pay attention to badge tiers. Depending on the height of your build, certain badges are going to fluctuate between tier
I'm
1
high as a
and
motherfucker,
tier 2.
boy.
This could be the difference between using your Badge Max perks on very valuable badges all across the board, or having to waste it on a less valuable badge because you weren't paying attention to which badges were in the Tier 1 and Tier 2 slots. Pay attention to your badge layout and all these new Badge Max slots to make sure you're able to utilize them on more valuable badges. Next up, with pure green windows returning to 2K26, it's going to be more important than ever to find the biggest green window jump shot bases for your specific build. And NBA2K Labs has you covered. They have a bunch of free tools on
The movement look good on this motherfucker.
utilize them on more valuable badges. Next up, with pure green windows returning to 2K26, it's going to be more important than ever to find the biggest green window jump shot bases for your specific
Yeah, I like that movement,
And
boy.
NBA2K Labs has you covered. They have a bunch of free tools on their website, but what you're really looking for is under the premium section, the custom jump shot data. This is an absolute cheat code every year on 2K. This data contains statistically tested jump shots.
Man, this
for
nigga ain't
your
said not one
specific
mistake.
build, giving you the biggest green windows and the fastest releases, giving you an edge over the competition. I personally use this database for all my builds. If you're interested in access to this, use code Joe at checkout for a big discount. I cannot recommend NBA 2K enough. Animations could be the difference between you hating your build and loving your build. So making sure you have the attribute requirements necessary to unlock the animations you want should be very high on your priority list. Missing an animation threshold by a few attribute points is one of the most frustrating things you could do with a new build. So make
I thought that power forward had 8
sure you
ball
pay great
handle.
attention to what attribute requirements are needed for the animations that you want to unlock. The newly added animation glossary is something you could utilize to try to make sure that you're not missing any attribute requirements needed for the animations that you want. But if you're going to make the most optimized build possible for yourself, you're going to want to have the most optimized animations available for your mind player. Next up are cat breakers. And I know some people are saying, I already know about cat breakers. I use them in 2K25. They are slightly different this year, so let's break this down quickly so that you don't make a mistake when it comes to your cat breakers. First reminder I want to give you. Your player has to have the ability to unlock the attribute that you're going to apply the cat breakers to. For example, if your build caps out at a 96 three-pointer, you cannot apply cat breakers to then push it to a 99. So when you're selecting your height, weight, and wingspan, make sure you have the capability to unlock the attributes that you want to apply your cat breakers to. For example, you could have a 94 three-pointer with the potential to get to 99, add 5 cat breakers, and now you have that 99 three that you were looking for. Now, a new feature with cat breakers is you can now apply them to lower rated attributes and get bigger returns on one cat breaker, sometimes reaching a double-digit attribute boost. Or you can apply it to a highly rated attribute for your +1 per cat breaker boost. When creating your builds, you're going to want to plan ahead about what you intend to do with your cat breakers. breakers, unless you just plan on creating a whole new build once you unlock the cap breakers. But like we said, builds are expensive. Sometimes you want to plan in advance that, hey, by the time I unlock my cap breakers, I already know where I'm going to use it. And lastly, when it comes to cap breakers, remember, you're going to have to unlock these cap breakers. You are not starting with cap breakers on your build. Even the build specialization cap breakers that have to be applied to a specific attribute category, you're going to have to unlock them through the build specialization quests. High risk versus low risk builds. I've talked about this on my channel for years. If you're someone that's planning on making a couple builds at the start of the year, let's say you plan on making a guard and a center build, make the lower risk build first, which is the center. It's a much harder task to mess up a center build than it is a guard build. You can make your center build, start playing the game, and see how it is. Let everybody else make...
Yo, chat. My first build gonna be I'm gonna have me a center. Straight popper.
Mistakes with their guard builds, taking that information and then tweak it to make the guard builds easier to make. Guard builds are easier to mess up because there's more that goes into them. You have to make sure you're getting specific dribble moves, specific layup packages, jump shot bases, dunk packages, a lot more that goes into it as opposed to a center. You're really just making sure you got the attributes and the badges that you want. Sure, there's some dunk packages and jump shot bases you want to get, but they're at much lower attribute thresholds, and you're pretty much going to have access to all of them as a big man. So make the low risk build first, let everybody else make mistakes with the higher risk builds, take in that information, make the tweaks that you need, and then make your higher risk build a few days later. Next is make sure you actually understand what each attribute contributes to when it comes to gameplay. I can't tell you how many times people have come to me and it's clear they don't actually understand what each attribute means. For example, putting up your mid-range also is your post-fade rating. Putting up your agility will not affect how quick you are with the ball in your hands. Agility is only for off-ball movement and defense. Putting up your close shot will also raise your post-hook rating. Make sure you understand what the attributes actually mean so that when you're putting up attributes for your build, you're actually creating the build you want to play on and optimizing it to its fullest potential. We've touched on this one a little bit when it came to the cap breakers, but pay attention to your physicals. Height, weight, and wingspan affect the attribute limits of your build. Make sure the physicals you select allow you to get the attributes and badges that you want to unlock to optimize your build. Also this year, pay attention. The maximum wingspan now is 6 inches above whatever height you choose. Also pay attention that some of the attribute caps have changed based on height and wingspan. Taller players and players with longer wingspans now have access to higher three-point ratings. That's just one example. Make sure you're paying attention to your physicals and what it allows you to unlock on your build. Create a build to fit the game modes that you like to play. If you like to play on the 1v1 court, you're not going to need pass accuracy on your build. But if you're somebody who likes to play 5v5 rec or pro-am,
I feel sick like a motherfucker.
Same thing that goes with free throw. If you're only a park player, you're not going to need free throw on your build. But if you're somebody that likes to dabble in the rec or 5v5 pro-am, you might want to raise that free throw rating. Create a build specific to the game modes that you want to play that will allow you to optimize it to its fullest potential. Also create a build that fits the teammates you like to play with. And I know some of you are saying, Joe, I play random rec or random theater. I don't know who I'm going to be playing with. You still know the types of people that enter those courts a lot of the times. If you're a center that likes to play 5v5 comp pro-am, maybe making an inside center might be a viable option because you're playing with a bunch of guys that want to 3-hunt and dance around screens, and you being able to just crash the board and get all the dunks in the paint is of value. But if you're a random rec player, you know a lot of people in there are trying to cut back door and slash to the basket and dunk and layup and do all that stuff. You're going to want to be able to shoot on your center so that you can bring the other team's center away from the hoop, or if they leave you open, you're going to be able to knock it down. Create a build to not only fit the game modes you want to play, but to fit with the teammates or the randoms that you're going to be hooping. Pay attention to takeover when creating your build. There is custom takeover this year, which allows you to select whatever 3 attributes you want to boost. If you decide to select 2 or 1 attributes, you'll receive an even bigger boost.
Hold up, did he say we can pick or takeovers? Like customize our own takeovers?
There is custom takeover this year. We're going to be hooping. Pay attention to takeover when creating your build. There is custom takeover this year.
Customize and save your own takeover. Select up to 3 attributes to boost your takeover. Select from the list of your qualified takeover abilities. Okay.
Select whatever
Oh, alright.
attributes you
I
want
can't
to
fuck
boost.
with it.
Select 2 or 1 attributes, you'll receive an even bigger boost to those attributes. But pay attention to the takeover abilities, what they do, and more importantly, what attribute thresholds you need to reach to unlock those abilities. Let's say you're planning on making a custom takeover to not only boost your shooting attributes, but you want one of the shooting takeover abilities like Deep Bomber. If you don't meet the attribute requirements to unlock the Deep Bomber ability, you're not going to be able to use that in your custom takeover. Make sure you're paying attention to the takeover thresholds and meet the attribute requirements to unlock them. Probably the most important tip I can give you when it comes to making a build: create a build
Hey, that nigga
that
moving,
you
boy.
want to play on. You specifically. I don't care what YouTuber or TikTok, or if your mom told you to make a certain build. Make a build that you want to play on. I can't tell you how many times I made a build and somebody told me that build's trash because this, that, and the third, and then I'm out there dropping 50 points per game on it. Make a build that fits the way you want to play, fits your play style, and you'll find a way to be successful on it. Sure, listen to build videos and take information from them, but at the end of the day, you got to create a build that you actually want to play on and a build that fits how you want to play. I appreciate y'all watching. If y'all want more help when it comes to NBA 2K26, click that video on the screen right there. I guarantee you it'll make you a better.
Chat, I might go small forward this year, chat. I might go small forward. I don't know. Is it a small forward or big? Small forward or big for sure.